Joining us right now on the current state of the Israel-Hamas war and what it means for the United States is Michael Froman. He is the president of the Council on Foreign Relations. He served as the U.S. trade representative during President Obama's second term. And, Michael, what did you think of President Biden's speech last night in terms of the message that it sent and how it was received?
Well, I think it was an important speech, really in three dimensions. One, making the argument for aid to Ukraine and Israel in terms of investment, and that it's more important to spend treasure now from the U.S. than spill American blood later, and making the case that if we don't help Ukraine and Israel defend themselves, that we are going to find more chaos, a spread of violence, and we're going to be drawn into more conflict. So I thought that was an important point. But the second point was the reference to 9/11 and the lessons that we learned after 9/11, and sending a message to Israel to think through what its reaction is going to be to the Hamas terrorist attack, and think through what the second and third stages are that they may have to face there. Then I think the third issue, Becky, was his reference really back to the United States and the rise of anti-Semitism here and Islamophobia here, and really a call out to people who are hurting on all sides to think through their families, their communities, their employees, and try and come together.
Ambassador Froman, even before the attacks on Israel, you had seen some exhaustion, I suppose, in terms of the United States' ability and willingness from some corners to continue funding the situation in Ukraine. This was different than we had seen when this first began over a year ago. How has the attack on Israel changed or modified any of that, or has it? Is this something that the Congress will support? Is this something that their constituencies will support?
Well, on one hand, of course, it tends to draw attention away from Ukraine, and you hear people saying, well, we can't afford to do both, and let's focus on Israel, where our interests are more clear. But I think that's why President Biden's speech last night was so important, because he was making the case about the two of them together representing really important principles about American democracy, about democracy in the world, about defending against dictators and terrorists, and how we needed to stand with them, the U.S. as an indispensable nation, to demonstrate to the rest of the world that we are willing to support these folks fighting these battles.
What happens next, just in terms of escalation, as you see it? I mean, Iran has been pretty antagonistic in this sense, and I think right after that rocket from the failed Palestinian rocket landed on the hospital in Gaza, tweeted out something saying time is up. What did they mean by that, and how should we interpret it?
Well, Iran has been incredibly successful in stirring up chaos in the region through its proxies, Hamas and of course, Hezbollah up in the north. I don't think Iran wants to see the conflict come to Iranian territory itself, but they have multiple options for stirring trouble all around Israel. Yesterday, we also saw some missiles being fired from Iranian-supported forces in Yemen, and being intercepted by a U.S. ship. And so they have a great capacity to stir up trouble. And I think part of the reason that the U.S. has sent military forces to the region and the carrier groups is to send a message to Iran that if it seeks to expand this conflict, that there could be repercussions.